Oh wow, it's actually a game I don't have to readjust the pitch and tempo for. Welcome to Curse. This game came out in 1989, relatively early Mega Drive game. This game never came out in North America, only came out in Japan. There was supposed to be a US release, but I guess things came up. Curse is your typical gradius shooter. There really isn't much to really say about it, except this game is a cult classic among Mega Drive collectors. If anything, I could say that it is probably one of the best shooters, space-based shooters, of that time. And it would open up opportunities for so much better titles over the years, particularly games by Messiah, the Bullet Hell Company, I like to call them. Oh, Wings of War. Wings of War, I will always remember you for being one of my hardest shooters of all time. And I might as well tell you the plot, since this is going to be a one-part thing. It's not going to be a two-parter or three-parter. It's only about 20 minutes. So, I'm reading this straight from Wikipedia, so if anything is off, please correct me. Somewhere in another universe, in a spiral galaxy, there were once two lively planets whose inhabitants lived in harmony together. Planet Parceria and Planet Seneca. However, something happened on Parceria. Something caused the Parcerians to shut off all forms of communication, visitation, and activity with Seneca. Over time, Parceria's environment died out, leaving only a planet-wide barren terrain. I was trying to figure out what barren was for a second. Hundreds of years passed, and the inhabitants of Seneca saw Parceria as nothing but a dead husk, with the concept of life and companionship on it being there long-forgotten legends. One day, an enormous attack once had flown from Parceria and attacked Seneca without warning. Confirmed to be the Parcerian military, the invaders crippled Seneca's defense forces. Using an unknown power, the Parceria military was also able to manipulate the wildlife to do its bidding, which is kind of what you're seeing here, ensuring no possible escape to safety. However, the desperate people of Seneca eventually discovered an ancient starfighter abandoned by the Parcerians called the Baldanders. I thought it was pronounced Baldanders for a while. Using its super technology, the people of Seneca used the Baldanders in a counterattack against the Parcerian invasion to destroy the main battleship, a large mysterious warship known only as Mother. Not to be confused with Mother from the Mother series on the Famicom. Actually, could be a relation. Anywho, here's your first boss. Yep, we're killing birds. PETA would really be upset if they saw this. What are these? Are these Thunderbirds? I'm not sure what kind of birds those are, but hey, the main bosses got destroyed. See, that's the benefit of having high-level weapons right off the bat. There are there are four types of weapons you can get. Your main basic weapon, which is the laser shot. You've got the, you've got the V-laser, which I'm figuring was supposed to be called the Vulcan laser. You can basically fire it in three directions once you level it up to level 3. You get the wave shot, which is, I think, called the, what does it say here on Wikipedia? The wide beam. It basically can shoot through everything except those red asteroids you just saw. And then there's also geometry, like I'm using right now. And I will not lie, geometry is the best weapon to have in the game. It's actually called the crystal shot. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it's called the crash shot here on Wikipedia, but I prefer calling it the crystal shot. Helps you kill these Gundams. Yes, there are Gundams in my Mega Drive game, and holy crap, it's backwards Sea Worm, completely digitized. Why weren't you in Wings of War? I really don't know the name of Backward Sea Worm from Wings of War. I said this before in the original Wings of War commentary back in part 3. I don't even know what that thing is. Like, what is it supposed to be called? All that I know is that you're supposed to shoot in the middle as much as you can, wait for it to just lose all health points and turn grayscale. And then boom, the level's over. Although the music just stops, so it kind of makes things pointless. Actually, funny enough, this is the same background that was used in the final level of Wings of War. The only difference was that you do not see a city in the background. Which, I don't even know what city this is. Could anybody in the description please tell me? It's just some random city in, is this Parceria? I think this is Parceria. If this is not Seneca, then it's Parceria. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. You can have up to 3 missiles. And those 2 orbs that are floating, those are options. Options will pretty much block any shots for you. They do not ever leave, and you can upgrade them 5 times. You can get 1, 2, and then you can get double and triple shot. But you also have the ability to rotate them as well. So if you really wanted to, well actually that would be 4 upgrades. But yeah, you can rotate them using the C button. I don't necessarily have to do that because having them above and below you is so much quicker. And I will not lie, I love the level 3 shot at this point. I mean, look at how quickly I'm dealing with these dragons. These are the bosses, by the way. All the yellow dragons were kind of semi-mid bosses, but this is the actual boss. Yeah. And keep in mind, despite the fact that this is a bullet hell game, I did some rehearsal playthroughs while I was at my friend Chris T's house. Chris T of the Gamers 11. I've brought him up before. I think it was in Super Mario Brothers Part 11. Feel free to watch if you want. And if I had to say, I will not lie. This game is not easy. This is one of those mini games where I have stated it before. It's one that I have to semi-tool assist. Now keep in mind, I am not using the slowdown tool at all here. I don't need the slowdown tool. The slowdown tool is never necessary unless if you're doing a task. In my case, I'm only doing a save state assisted run, or what I like to call well, would it be called a SAS in that case then? No, because the way I do it, I would rather call it a SAL, save state assisted long play. But again, because I'm using a re-recording emulator, it has to be called tool assisted playthrough, whether or not it actually is a speedrun or not. I kind of wish that the rules of that were changed, but blah, it's not like I'm going to be uploading this to task videos or anything. I'm just doing this for the sake of doing this. And hey, there's the red dragon. Yep, we got our green dragons, our yellow dragons, and our red dragons. Where's the blue dragon? I love having a blue dragon. You can't have a spectrum of dragons without the blue dragon. I'm sorry. I'm guessing they couldn't get the white eyes for it. Actually, speaking of white eyes and blue dragons, how come the blue eyes white dragon isn't I'm actually kind of surprised I'm going off topic just to talk about this. But how come the blue eyes white dragon looks more blue than he does white, or than she does white? That's something that's always irked me about Yu-Gi-Oh! But you know, I'll get to Yu-Gi-Oh! whenever I get the chance. However, I just don't know where to start. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, there's so many games! I mean, the farthest back I could probably go is probably the PSX titles, but if there are earlier Yu-Gi-Oh! Games than that, I don't know what to say. I just don't know, man. Or girl, or dudette, whatever the duck you want to call yourself. we're already at the boss. What the heck is this supposed to be? There really aren't any names for these bosses, I think. I would actually have to check the manual. Here's the only problem, the manual's in Japanese. Chuck is currently my only Japanese translator, and he is currently not around right now. So whenever I purchase an actual copy of Curse, I have been planning on doing that for a long time now. I swear, level 3 crystal shot really helps out. Yeah, I'll have to make sure to tell you the names of these bosses. Oh, this is where the problems really begin. The level 4 starts out with a whole bunch of missiles, but keep in mind, because everything is moving so fast, you see that little shield meter up in the top in the middle? That's your health. In theory, you can only take 3 hits. By the way, I almost forgot to mention, the S power pretty much just increases your speed. Nothing more important than that. But if I had to say, I would have to complain about how the health bar works. That E power up that I'm about to get, do I get it? I get that one. Okay, the E power-up maxes out your health. You can only take 3 projectile shots, like these red shots here. If you get hit by a missile, you'll lose either 90% of your health or your ship will be entirely destroyed. You would not believe the many rehearsal playthroughs where I've had that happen. I won't lie, level 4 alone gave me, I'm gonna say at least 6 game overs. Oh, and speaking of which, you saw at the beginning of the video that I went into the options menu. You can only do that by holding one of the buttons and start. Here's the only factor with that, however. By doing so, you are causing yourself a problem. And what that problem is, it's not a good sight. I could say you are potentially putting yourself at risk of, I don't even know what word I'm trying to think of. Needless to have my video dang it. I don't like when this happens. Like, Virtual DJ is a horrible video player. It always desyncs out of nowhere. But from what I'm hearing from the speaker, it appears I'm fighting the Gundam boss. I will not lie. It is super pathetic if you have all the strongest weapons in the game, especially if you have option level 3. All you have to do is just go to the far right and boom, it's over. It's over just like that. Pathetic, right? Now here's the final level. I at first thought that this was gonna be, a boss rush, so I was, amped and ready. But nope, 2 new bosses. So this first boss you see right here, we're fighting this, whatever the duck this is supposed to be. I don't even know what it's supposed to be. I'm guessing it's some kind of a Space Channel 5-like kind of a ship. I actually haven't played Space Channel 5. I heard it's really good, though. The only reason why I've never touched it is because I want to play Part 1 before I do Part 2. If you recall some of the final levels of Gradius 3, you might know how this one works. Don't touch any of the walls, your ship will be destroyed. However, unlike all of the other stages before this, keep in mind, we are in the final level of the game. The problem with Stage 5 in Curse is the fact that if you lose your ship, if your ship loses all of its health, you will be sent entirely back to the beginning. Even if you are 1 health point away, 1 shot away from defeating the final boss, And the final boss has two forms. The first one's quite easy. The second one, I'll get to that. But this level's painstakingly hard if you're doing it live. Especially given the fact that you can't, there's really no room for error here. You have to know what the duck you're doing. Also, careful of this one. Yeah, careful of this little plant-like thing right here. These lasers, or whatever kind of electric shots they're supposed to be, instant destruction of your ship if you get hit by it. So, look, not even options are able to save yourself from that. You have to be careful here. These little orange laser shooters, I could say the same for those too. Make sure you have geometry. Geometry is the best weapon to use against this. I would not recommend you bringing in the Vulcan shot. I was supposed to call it Vortex shot, but you know, Vulcan shot works. Yeah, but yeah, don't ever bring the Vulcan shot into this. Don't bring the wave shot unless if you want to have a massive bullet hell. I mean, you think this is a bullet hell? Wait till we get to the final part of this level. Man. To talk about a game in 20 minutes, it's not that, you know, it's not that easy. Especially when there's not really too much to talk about in the first place. But yeah, that's the last of the enemies. And, I wonder what that smell is. Smells like a chemical of some sort. Yep, there we go. Yeah, you just press the C button and you can rotate the options. And here is the yeah, that's the woman you see at the on the cover of Curse. She looks like somebody I know. Great friend. Holy ducking crap. This is the curse. This is Mother. Yes. The first form of Mother's quite easy. All you basically do is avoid the bullets, just shoot the orb. And now here's where the bullet hell really begins. You'll start seeing all these organs flying at you. Key thing to do, if you have level 3 crystal shot, level 3 missiles, level 3 option, just stay right above the eye the way I'm doing it. You'll never get hit. You'll never get hit. The boss will be done in literally less than a minute. I didn't even mention it. If you press the A button, you can use your smart bombs. I'm quite surprised I didn't use them here. But yeah, it's not really necessary when you know what to do. This is a major exploit. And you know, there aren't a lot of shooters that have exploits like this, so take them to your best advantage. But yeah, we defeated Mother. I'm actually kind of sad because, I mean, heck, the final one of my friends looks like the final boss. That's scary. One of my friends looks like the final boss. That's Oh yeah, fun fact. This is actually the same font that's used in Super Thunderblade. Super Thunderblade is also a game that I will be commentating over in Month of Sega 3 if I have not done so at this point. The time of this recording is March 2 of 2014, so if any of you are unaware, yeah, there is a Month of Sega 3 coming. It'll pretty much just be the rest of the games I didn't do in 6-pack, with the exclusion of Super Hang-On, because I'm not touching Super Hang-On until I touch regular Hang-On, but blah. So, you know, while I'm still here, this was Curse. This was a bullet hell of a game that only took about 40 minutes to record. I'm gonna say about 20 at Chris T's house, the other 20 here at my house. And, yep, got the max, I didn't get the max score. What am I saying? I got the high score, though. I'm number 1. Anybody want to beat my score of 7,333,100? Be my guest. By the way, if you want to get any 1-ups in this game, please keep in mind, you will need to have 1,000,000 points gained. This is some lovely music. I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't really talk about that, but I shall do so right after the Sega logo plays, because, you know, I love to talk about that Sega sound. I love to hear everything about that. Yeah. But yeah, Curse is, the reason why I started playing Curse was particularly because of its music. It's beautiful. If you can ever find a copy of Curse, just hold down the A, B, or C button and then press start, go into the options menu, just play track 1. Play track 1 or track 4. Greatest memory that you will ever have. If I could talk more about this game, I honestly would, but what more can I say? It's just a story about an ancient ship, Baldanders, which is actually, I think, of German origin, if my memory's correct. Going and shooting up a whole bunch of things, animals, dragons, birds, random worm, a caterpillar, Gundams, and a random demon, which was the Curse of Mother, which, as said before, is not related to the Famicom game of the same name. Actually, speaking of which, one day I will go out of my way to record Mother, but whenever that be, I don't have a clue. I'm not gonna even talk about it for now. Anywho, happy 25th birthday, Curse. Micronet did a good job making this Mega Drive game. Is there much more to say? Well, I guess I could say, have a Merry Christmas, since this video will be uploaded on the 23rd anyway. These are the memories we create together.